You know what it is, man. Y'all wanted to hear about the little shorty that I, got into it with her mother with in the stairs when I was telling you about the other video. So I'm going to tell you about one of my little street stories so you understand what time it is. All right, but let's start off with the intro because you know how we like to do at the Mecca. All right? Gunshots. 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 Let's go. Do this. Let's go. Let's go. All right, strap in, man. Strap in and enjoy the ride. All right, let's go. Now, we're going to tap in and we're going to enjoy the ride. This is what it is, man. Y'all want to know about the little shorty that I met, right? Let me set the mood because I'm in a good mood right now. So I'm going to set the mood right now. I'm going to give you a little visual, Now, this is me back in 1988, right? I'm in, New York City. This is 125th Street, right? I'm on 125th Street, and, I take pictures with random females that I meet. This before, rappers became big when drug dealers was kings. You know what I mean? Just like before drug dealers was kings, DJs was kings. That's why you had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Grand Wizard Theodore and his crew. You know what I mean? It's always a DJ and. So it was come on, man. Let me get in this. All right, so I'm on 125th Street. And I'm chilling, taking pictures, bunch of girls, we doing what we got to do. You see how they look, how we dressed back then? That's how I ran around, shirt off, jewels on, and I'm driving, I'm driving the green and white twin turbo, I'm driving the green and white twin turbo, and, with the BBS rims, green interior, when I got this joint, it was white with all burgundy. Tell me where you see burgundy. That's when you know your money's long. So people that want to hate on my money and how it was doing me, I'm going to show the visuals because I got receipts for everything as y'all see in 2023. So I pull up in this joint and one of my customers pulled up from out in Jersey. I ain't going to say no names because I don't like putting nobody in blast, but he was a real piece of shit and a scumbag. You know what I mean? Real piece of shit and a scumbag. Let's get that right. So he pulls up and he got a white Mercedes-Benz 190, and I'm driving this joint. So, we riding through the hood, and that's what we do to get everybody looking and shining and, doing what we got to do. So when I pull up, it's this bad little female. She was like a caramel complexion. She was half Philippine and like Chinese and black. So her complexion was more black. Her hair was kind of like the come back to Jamaica type hair, And she was like she had, like I said, she had these mango-sized breasts with these grape nipples on her. You know what I mean? And it was sticking out. She wearing a little body top. You remember back in the day, the body top that, strap under the legs. You know what I mean? So it pulls it down even tighter when the breasts stick out, make it stand out. Then she had the baby powder all on her chest. If y'all from the 80s, I ain't seen no baby powder since I've been home on a female's chest. But back in the day, they used to go out there and throw the baby powder on the chest. Could you picture that? You know what I mean? And that, when it sweat, it gave like a glistening, sparkly look, And, she was with this other chocolate girl. The chocolate girl was nice too. I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing wrong with it. She was nice. But, I seen her first, so I pulled over on the little, caramel joint, and I introduced myself. I said, hey, my name is Unique. What's your name? She gave me her little name and all that. So I took the name. I said, all right, well, here, take my beeper number. She took my beeper number, and I told her to beat me later on. So later on that day, you know what I mean? Oh, my man, he hollers at, in the 190, he hollers at the chocolate girl. He gets her number, and I think he was buying like 5 keys, so I had somebody cooking up the 5 keys at the time. So while they cooking up the 5 keys, I'm chilling with the homie, and we just riding through the hood, and, you know what I mean? I already got my money all laid back, you know what I mean? That's how I'm laid back right now, because I'm in my old 88 zone. So I'm chilling with Shorty, and, me and my little man, and we hollering him on the block, and, I get the number. And then later on, I tell my man, I said, yo, we'll be done cooking them up in about 2 hours, so meet up with me in 2 hours. So I go back, check up on the process of cooking it up, packaging up a couple of things. So we had 2 keys left. So I said, let me go see the little shorty that I just met over on 125th Street. You know what I mean? So in the meantime, let me put that picture up about 125th Street because I want y'all to see some visuals. So I'm chilling with the little shorty, and I said, let me go check my girl over in the Bronx. So I pull over in the Bronx, and when I pull up in the Bronx, and as soon as I pull up, I'm looking for the girl at the corner, and there goes the white Mercedes. I'm thinking, okay, he out there to see her girlfriend. Maybe they live in the same neighborhood, they together or whatever. But when I pull up, my man is out there talking to the girl that I was talking to. I just met her, so it ain't my girl. You know what I mean? So, she free game. That's what we call free game. So he hollering at her, so I pulls up and I get out the whip. So when I get out the whip, I walk up and shorty runs over. She give me a big hug, throw a little, powdered breasts all up on my chest. And, of course, I still ain't got no shirt on, the jewels jingling. And I know it was freezing her chest, and, So, I said, what's up? She was like, nah, I'm out here chilling. And I see my man there, and he looking guilty. So I asked him, what's up? He said, oh, ain't nothing. I said, where your shorty at? He said, oh, I don't know. I said, oh, so what you out here talking to my shorty? And he's like, nah, I came over here because I know she said she lived here and she was out here on the corner. But mind you, she was out there on the corner to meet me because she beat me to meet on the corner. So while we're talking, I said, all right, So shorty looks at me and she cuts her eye and she let me know, like, yo, this nigga's a real scumbag. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to punch him in the face. I didn't want to disrespect him because it wasn't my girl and he was a good customer. He bought 5 keys. So right now, I'm making $100,000. You understand? And $50,000 out of that is mine. So I don't want to violate that, $50,000 profit. But I know right now I can't trust dude, So I take shorty. And I said, come on. So I told dude, follow me, his joint should be ready. I shoot back over there, to Harlem. So I go to 155th Street and I go check my man, Mr. Nick and Spidey. If y'all from Harlem, y'all know Mr. Nick and Spidey. They had a little gambling spots. I said, let me run up in there and gamble for me a little minute, kill a little time so they can do what they got to do. So I take the homie in the joint. So when I take the homie in the joint, you know what I mean? I got a garage right there on the corner of Bradhurst, which is like, 100 steps, a half a block, away from Mr. Nick joint, the gambling spot. So I said, let me go park, the BMW. I mean, the twin turbo. You know what I mean? Because mind you, like I told you, I was in the twin turbo, But I decided to park the twin turbo, and I said, let me go get in, the MPV. So I go get in the MPV. So when I get in the MPV, this is how it was on the corner. So you know how packed it was. So we out there. That's my little man do all the way on the right, and that's Heavy D next to, Shantae. Heavy D, that's our Heavy, rest in peace from, I think he's from Building 2. Now, Heavy from Building 3, from Polo Grounds. So that's Heavy in the middle. Rest in peace, Heavy Pass. And that's me down the middle. You already know, and that's Lulu to the right. So I'm, putting y'all what it is, and that's my man Diesel. So we all out there chilling. I got the green MPV, all that custom made, everything custom, so you can see how I was living. So I got the hammers on it. If y'all don't know what hammers are, hammers was the big boys back in the day. So I threw the hammers on the joint. If you look closely at the MPV, I got it tinted out all black, and I got the boomerang antenna on the top. So I'm sitting there. I got these little cuties with me, and I'm taking pictures. And my shorty I just met, she's standing the sidelines. The dude I just met, he in the sidelines. He too trying to put his Mac in because he knows shorty bad, So now I get a beep saying that the joint is ready, So being that the joint is ready, I said, all right. So we shoot over, and I get him his joints. So he gets his joints, he leaves, and then I'm hanging out. So I say, you know what? I feel like changing up, So the next day I decided to chill out, I said, I'm going to go on over here. I'm going to relax. So I go get, the Saab convertible, all this in less than 12 hours so you can see how I'm living, Each one of these joints over 50,000. So I pull up in the convertible and I get my, that's my little sis in the back, Big shout out to Erica. Give her a round of applause. That's Erica. So you don't know who Erica is. I'm introducing some characters because calm down, man, calm down. I'm gonna introduce you to some characters because I'm gonna start giving y'all some street stories in this because I've been neglecting my street stories and people been hitting me up. So me and Erica chilling in the joint. So while we chilling in the joint, Shorty jumps out. She go in the store. So Erica telling me that she likes Shorty. Erica in the back rolling up a blunt so we could get right. So we smoking. So now I decide to go, by girlfriend house. So I drop Erica off and I go by girlfriend house that night. That's why I left off in the story. So when I pull up at the house, I'm in the house with Shorty. She got a little sister in there. She babysitting a sister about 14. She like 19. And her moms wasn't home. So then moms come home. Now, moms come home and say, yo, mom's getting ready to come. It's almost that time. We got to go in the hallway. I ain't allowed to have company. So I go in the hallway and we chilling. While we chilling in the hallway, moms come up the stairs. So mom looking and she said, didn't I tell you not to have company? You know what I mean? And she's like, nah, so I jumps in and I tell her, nah, mom, we ain't in the house, we out here. She said, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my daughter. I said, okay, but you said something and I felt that I needed to explain that. So I explained that. She said, well, who do you think you are? So now she popping slick, I'm popping slick. So I told her, nah, it ain't about nothing, I'm just saying, So she's like, nah, well, this is my daughter, and she can speak for herself. And she getting all this fly talk, I don't remember exactly what it was. But I tell her straight up, I said, Mom, I ain't gonna front, you looking good. She said, what? I said, nah, I'm just saying you looking good. I can't believe you her mother. You could be her sister. So instead of her blushing or smiling like a normal woman would, she looked and she said, you need to watch your mouth. I'm a grown woman. I'm her mother. I said, well, I'm a grown man. I pay my own bills. You know what I mean? I pay my own bills, buy my own gas, and I do my own thing. She said, yeah, but you talking to my daughter, and I don't want her talking to a man like you. She said, now, Shorty, get in the house. So she tells Shorty, get in the house. Shorty gets in the house. Now, I leaves and I go back, let me show y'all another visual. I decided to say, let me go to Miami. So I goes down to Miami and, to my house in Miami. I'm in my garage. So I run up on this little cutie that I met at the Rolex. Her name is Candy. That's the blue BMW. I just showed you like 4 joints that I owned all at the same time. You know what I mean? That's just a small number in the entourage, because that's how much money I'm getting. The trolls and rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public dudes trying to discredit me. But I got receipts. You know what I mean? I'm in Miami at my $250,000 house in Miami now. Left New York. I got a little mini mansion upstate New York. I'm going to get to that too with this little shorty. So I'm down in Miami and, I got a little interest in a club down there called Fifth Street on the beach. Big shout out to my man Mark, a.k.a. Mana, a.k.a. Granny Bees. Y'all from Miami know Granny Bees. So I'm down there and I go pull up on Mark, Mana to go get my little, portion of my interest in the joint. So, me and Candy out there chilling. See, Candy was taller than me, as you can see. But I really, really, really enjoyed the sex with Candy. You know what I mean? Because I just like to throw the legs all up on the shoulders and bend her up like a pretzel because she was so big. And, back then I wasn't into, making love and foreplay and all that. I just like to get my head, bang, 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 bang it out, and I'm done. You know what I mean? If they scream loud enough, I think I did a good job. I didn't know nothing about the foreplay. It wasn't going down on the panani or none of that. So, and the crazy thing is, I had a girl that I knew from down there. I'm even going to say a couple of, stripper names, because they had the stripper names to hide who they are. But if you're in Miami or Atlanta or Tennessee or North Carolina, these many states that I sent my drugs to, you would know these people if you're from back in the day. I had a bad chick named Black Cat. You know what I mean? Her name was Black Cat. She was a caramel complex. She was like a... man, I'm getting you a color. She was like Gina from Martin's complexion, but with a tan naturally all year round, even in Miami. She didn't get too dark, but she had that long, thick, like I said, come back to Jamaica hair that I like. Back then, it was all about the hair. That's why the weaves came in. See, like Shorty right there, she wearing a little weave top, whatever. But Black Cat had all natural hair. Her body was banging, and she was a bad red bone. That's what I would call it. She was a bad red bone. So Black Cat doing the thing. She wanted to be a rapper. I bought Black Cat in New York. She did her thing. We hung out. And, after I chilled in Miami, you know what I mean? Because, I like to ride. So now we leave Miami. Let's leave Miami and let's go back you know what I mean, to 125th Street. So now I'm back on 125th Street. I'm doing my thing. I'm flossing, taking pictures, getting numbers, giving out people numbers, and I'm doing my thing. This is how New York was. Like I said, this is a 24-hour time period for me. That's why I got so many stories, and that's why I say, you know, that the Cash App is on the screen. Make sure it was created in 2020, not, you know, a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, or whatever. But my stories to be told, sold, not told. You get a lot of these fake YouTubers that say, oh, he on YouTube begging. Yo, you got nothing worth people paying you for. So you depend on YouTube money. When I'm giving people content like this is worth being paid for. Cash App is on the screen. Take it how you want to take it. I'm from the old school. I know that the game is to be sold, not told. Where else you going to get the insight like this? You know what I mean? So let's ride. You know what I mean? So now, one night I'm riding. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep this to the point. One night I'm riding, right? So I'm out again, like I said, you know, I'm chilling, man. I'm in the twin turbo, right? So while I'm riding, I see this like a powder blue, you know, a powder blue Saab. If you don't know what a Saab is, you know what I mean? It's a powder blue Saab, you know, and this is what a Saab looked like, but that's the convertible. But she had the hard top, you know, joint. So I see the joint rolling and see these two bad females in the joint. So I said, yo, I beat the horn. We riding, and I'm like, yo, follow me. You know what I mean? And they're like, nah, follow me, you know? So I follows them, and they takes me to the Oasis. You know, if y'all from Harlem, y'all know about the Oasis back in the day. I think it was like 148 in Broadway. So we pull over at the Oasis. You know, they get out, they go in the joint. You know, the driver goes in the bathroom. I go in. A bottle of Moet then at the Oasis, you know, was only like $20 a bottle. You know what I mean? I was selling them for $100 a piece in Club 2000, you know, and you was buying them from the, you know, the liquor warehouse, you know, for Club 2000, you know what I mean? I was buying cases for like $9-10 a case, and then I was selling them for $100 a bottle. So it comes 6 bottles in the case, so I'm making $600, $600, you know, mind you, off of $60. I mean, I'm doing my thing. So now I'm getting my little money. So Shorty goes in the bathroom. And I'm talking to her girlfriend out there, and I'm telling her girlfriend how good she look. You know, I'm by myself. You know, I rode by myself with my 9mm. So I'm telling girlfriend how good I look. I'm in Oasis. Niggas there sniffing coke. It was a coke spot. You know, niggas go up there, sniff coke. They drink the Pipers. Y'all might not even know what that is. Pipers was like the, you know, the baby Moet back then. It before they started drinking Cristal. I started drinking Cristal and you know, Moet, Rosé and all that, you know, Rodier and all that in Club 2000. I introduced them to that and the Henny. You know what I mean? Because they wasn't even drinking that like that. But I rolled up in a joint. I'm talking to her friend. When I'm talking to her friend, the driver comes out the bathroom. The driver bad, pretty caramel complexion, had the nice, you know, that Dominican doobie bob. You know, the joint that they pin it up there, when they let it out, it just lays straight and fly. So she comes out the bathroom, and I see her, and I'm like, damn, you look good, but you look familiar. I ain't meet you before. And she's like, nah, you ain't never meet me before. You know, so I'm talking to her, and as I'm talking to her, I'm like, yeah, my name Unique, da-da-da-da. She gave me her name. We hollered, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got the number. So when I got the number, you know, she told me to pick her up over there on Cedric, you know. So, you know, that's where she live at. She told me to meet over there. So I calls her, you know. So when I called her and she came downstairs to meet me, you know what I mean? At the same time, her daughter, you know, must have been going to the store at the same time, you know. So she comes out the building. Now check this out, because this is a crazy one. So she comes out the building. She got her daughter with her, and I'm driving. At the time, I'm driving a wide-body green and white BMW. So she never seen the BMW. So I'm sitting there, and her daughter comes walking out the building, and the daughter comes running over to the car, give me a big hug and a kiss. Now, when she gives me a big hug and a kiss, I look up, and I see the lady with her, and that's the lady that I came there to meet that beat me told me to pick her up. We were supposed to go on a movie date. I didn't do movies and all that old lovey-dovey crap because I ain't never been but a lover dog ass type nigga. So she gave me a big hug, and then the lady that's with her, she's sitting there, she got an attitude. You know what I mean? And I look up, and it's the lady that I met in the Oasis that was driving the powder blue joint. I'm like, oh no, this can't be. You know? This is my shorty's mother that I met. But we didn't recognize each other because it was just that chance experience that we both tried to forget. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God. You know? So mom's sitting there with an attitude. So she tells her daughter, take her ass upstairs. Didn't I tell you not to talk to that man? So her daughter turns around and she pivots upstairs. And I said, shorty, where you going? And she turned around, her mother said, get your ass upstairs. So she goes upstairs and the mother come walk over to the car. She said, boy, I didn't know that was you. I said, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? I'm not married to your daughter. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, but I'm not going to do nothing with you if you did something with my daughter. And I'm like, yo, what difference does it make? You're having sex, your daughter's having sex, y'all are both seeing who you want to see. I'm having sex. I mean, you know, I'm literally on 125th Street every night meeting females. So I'm having different sex with different females every night. So what difference does it make if me and you have sex? So the mother looks and she said, oh, no. I don't know who you think I am, what you think this is. I'm a working woman. I don't do this type of thing. I don't talk to you type of people and da-da-da-da. I said, my type of people? I said, what do you mean, my type of people? She said, you hood dudes. I said, you knew that when you pulled up in Oasis, that only hood dudes go to Oasis. And she's like, nah, but I can't believe this. You know what I mean? You talking to my daughter, you trying to talk to me. I said, look, first of all, I didn't know that was your daughter. Now that I know that that was your daughter, I'm telling you, ain't none of us married. And that's the way it is. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to get into what me and your daughter did or what we didn't do or whatever. But bottom line is, I'm feeling you and I want to know what's going on with me and you. She said, nigga, ain't nothing going on with me and you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to put nobody on the spot. I gave too much detail. So anyway. So now, you know, I say, you know, screw that, you know. So I shoot back over there, you know what I mean? I shoot back over to Harlem, you know what I mean? So when I shoot back over to Harlem, I go over there and I get the MPV and I get the homies again. And, you know, we hanging out on the corner, you know, got the music playing out loud, we doing our thing. And then here comes another shorty from the Bronx. Now, a little shorty comes from the Bronx, and she's standing up in the cut, right? Now, this is a true story. I know y'all ain't gonna believe this, but I just feel like giving, you know, take y'all in my world. Little shorty stand up over in the corner, and I knew the little shorty, you know, that's up there on the screen on the left. And, you know, that's little Shantae. So one of her girlfriends over there, and she's standing in the cut while we taking the pictures, and I'm down the middle, and I'm yelling and screaming, having fun, and the little friend is sitting there licking, you know, mind you, I'm driving the green MPV, as you see in the back. She's sitting there licking apple green blow pop. You know what I mean? Listen, she used to love a blow pop. I'm going to tell you another story about, if y'all want the other story about this shorty, how I ran into her in the Bronx and all that. But she took this blow pop, and she's sucking this blow pop. And as she's sucking this blow pop, she's rolling her tongue all on the joint. And, you know, I mean, she's making love to the blow pop. And all I'm thinking about, that's the head of my joint going in and out of my mouth. So I'm looking at her, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to have that. You know? I mean, at one point, it looked like she put her whole wrist down her throat. You know? So now I'm with my little shorty. So I tell my little shorty, you know, when we get up, I say, yo, go to the corner and go get a case of six-pack, what my little brother man do. So she go to the corner, go get a six-pack man do. So I rolled up on little shorty and I asked her little buddy, I said, yo, look, you doing all this, you know, I'm talking to her girlfriend. The way you working that blue pop, I want that blue pop to be me. She said, well, it could be you whenever you want. She said, give me your beeper number. So I gave her my beeper number. So she takes my beeper number. So me and Shorty out there. So she like, yo, well, dump Shorty and come back and get me. You know what I mean? So now after we hung out for a little bit, I dumped Shorty. You know, I'm old sucker. Maybe that's old loving dog ass trait or whatever, you know, but I ain't no loving dog ass nigga. So I go dump Shorty. So when I dump Shorty, I go pick this little girl up, you know. So when I pick her up, I decided to take her to one of my little not a stash house, but, it was a stash house, for money. But at the time, I didn't have nothing but maybe $100 grand in the joint, so that wasn't really nothing, And it was next to the police station. So I grabbed Shorty, I take her up to the joint. So when I take her up to the joint, I said, look, before I take my clothes off, I'm letting her know now, if you can't treat me like you treated that blow pop, we need to just leave. So I'm not even going to play this game. I want it like you gave the blow pop. She said, nigga, I'm going to turn you out and you'll never look at another woman again when I'm done at you. I said, what? When you done at me? She said, yeah, when I'm done getting at you. You know what I mean? So I get with Shorty. Shorty winds up doing a thing. And, she turned me out. I ain't gonna front. She turned me out. She was the bomb. I'm keeping one. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't pull no punches. You know what I mean? I was a sucker for head ass nigga at the time. If I got good head, it was a rap. You know what I mean? So I wind up sneaking, picking Shorty up on the late night. But then I found out Shorty liked to sniff the coke. I sell coke. I used to smoke coke and all that back in the freebase era. So I wasn't into coke and none of that. I didn't even allow my niggas that I deal with to sniff coke. You know what I mean? But Shorty was sniffing coke. But it was so disgusting because she had sniffed the coke in the jaws. Let me end it right there, man. Y'all ain't ready. If y'all want to end the rest of this, let me know and I'm going to go ahead and get it to you, man. But right now, I just want to tap out and just let this one ride out because I think I gave y'all enough already, man. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let Shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.